So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over the braking procedures for the spindle for the Grizzly 7x14 model G0765, as you can see in this picture here. Anyways, so let's get started. So first what we want to do is we're going to identify different parts here. So if you look here, this is your variable speed for RPM. This is your power switch. And this is for forward, reverse, and neutral. So first thing that we need to do is, according to our book, we need to go back here, and this right here is for your high RPM and low RPM. Let me kind of go around here so you can see this a little bit better. For your spindle speed. And so the book says first set it into the low RPM. When you first go to turn it to low, it's not going to go directly, and you have to kind of rotate the spindle a little bit, and then you see it locks in place. So we're going to put it in low first, and then the book says to open this and make sure that your spindle speed is on 0 right now. It's off. There's no light on here. This is in neutral, but we're actually going to change it to forward. I'm going to open this and press the green button. Now you see we're at 0. We have a power light on. And we're going to slowly rotate the spindle speed until we get it to 1,000 RPMs. And we're going to do this for 10 minutes. Let it run. So we're going to rotate it just and go slowly up to our 1,000 RPMs. Remember, as it spins, it has the RPM action on the digital readout has to catch up. So don't go and spin it up real fast, because then you're going to have to keep on chasing it. So we're going to go up slowly. Remember, we're going up to 1,000 RPM. Let's let the RPM catch up. So right now the highest mine is going in is 958. and I'll just let it run for 10 minutes. That's as high as it's going to go in our low version. Yours might operate a little bit different, but right now mine's only at 958 is the highest it's going to go. It might catch up later and say it's going faster, but right now it's 958. So once you let it run that 1,000 RPM, or as high as you can get it, for 10 minutes, you're going to back the spindle speed down slowly again, all the way back down to 0. Alright, once you're back down to 0, we're going to go back here, we're going to change it to high RPM. Again, when we go to turn this, it'll go a little bit, but it won't go all the way. So you actually have to kind of rotate the spindle a little bit to get it to go in all the way. So now that we got it all the way in, I had to use both hands, so I paused it for a moment so that I could rotate with one hand and adjust. So now we're all the way in the high RPM spindle speed. We're going to do this, basically the same test, but now we're going to run it, make sure it's still in forward. The light's on here. We're at 0. We're going to go all the way up to 2,000 RPM. Again, we're going to start slow and work our way up to it. We're not going to just try to jump to the end because you don't know where you're going to end up. So slowly turn up the speed. Let it even out for a moment so you know where you're really at. And then continue. We're just going up to 1,000 RPM this time. Excuse me, 2,000 RPM. I'm going to let it catch up again. I'm going to let it stabilize so we can get real numbers on it. Kind of all over the place. So we're right at 2011, it looks like, after we've stabilized. We're going to just touch it here. We don't want it to be that hot, quite that high. See if the numbers start to come down a little bit. No, I adjusted a little too much, but we'll see. It'll stabilize. while still jumping all over the place. Once you get it to stabilize, you want to run that again at 10 minutes, 2,000 RPM. Make sure you're in the high RPM for the spindle speed that's in the back. And you run that for 10 minutes. This is still all over the place. Luckily, you're probably won't find anything that you have to run at this kind of RPM when you're cutting anyways, but this is just, again, this is just for the break-in. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to stabilize, but I'm gonna go ahead and slow it down. Go all the way back down to 0. We're going to leave it in the high setting, but now as the book requires, we're going to turn it to reverse. Make sure that it's all the way off when you do that. See, we're still on 0. And again, we're going to slowly turn up the speed until we get to 2,000 RPM. Let it stabilize. We're going to do it slowly, and then we're going to run that for 10 minutes as well. That's the one thing about one of these variable spindle speed, is that it's hard to get it exact what you want. Play with it enough times, you'll kind of get used to it though. I like the whole infinite adjustability thing, but it's something to be said about putting it into specific notches for it to go to a specific spindle speed is kind of cool too. But I do like the variable speed. Again, we're going to run this at 2,000 RPM in reverse. And we're going to run that for 10 minutes. Just kind of jumping all over the place here. It looks like the highest I've been able to get it is 1,956 RPM. And just let that run for 10 minutes, and that's your break-in procedure. Once you've let it run for 10 minutes, we're going to dial it back down. and then it says to press your emergency stop button, and see all the power goes off. So that is your basic break-in procedure for the Grizzly 7x14 benchtop lathe model G0765. Thanks for watching, and tune into my next videos.